Children, and today we'll be starting with our next chapter, that is negative numbers and integers. And before going into the chapter, we need to discuss what is a number line. And the definition says here, number line can be defined as a straight line with numbers placed at equal intervals or segments along its length. So children, we have a line here, a simple horizontal line, and on this line, firstly we will start with 0, and after 0, and the definition says it can be defined as a straight line with numbers placed at equal intervals. So there are numbers which are placed here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the left side -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. And children, these numbers are placed at an equal distance. So the distance between 0 and 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4 is equal. Distance between 0 -1, -1 -2, -3, -2 -3 is equal, -3 -4 is equal, -4 -5 is equal, children. So children, what is a number line? A number line is a straight line is a straight line with numbers placed at equal intervals on both the sides. It can be, and one more thing, children, it can be extended infinitely. That means this line can go towards 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, can go towards the positive side, and numbers will continuously keep on increasing. And this side, it will be the negative side, and the numbers can also increase in this side only, in this side also. So a number line, it can be defined as a straight line with numbers placed at equal intervals or equal segments. These can be called as intervals, or they can be also called as segments along its length. It can be extended infinitely in the positive direction or in the negative direction. If we move towards this side, the numbers are positive, and we move towards the left, the numbers are negative, children. This chapter, we will be starting with comparing integers, and so we'll start from here only. Now, we will be starting with our topic, comparing integers. So, in the definition, the book says that integers can be compared by comparing their positions on a number line. The greater of two integers is always to the right of the smaller one. So, as we have seen earlier, what is a number line? A number line is a straight line, and on that straight line, numbers are represented on both sides of the zero, and the distance between the numbers are equal, or they are at the same equal intervals, or they are at equal, they are separated by equal segments. So children, so in comparing of integers, the definition says integers can be compared by comparing their positions on the number line. The greater of two integers is always to the right of the smaller one. So children, if I ask you 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out of 3 and 4, which one is greater? You will simply say, sir, 4 is greater than 3. Acha, what about 2 and 3? 3 is greater than 2. Acha, if you move towards this side, so what about -3 and -2? Which one is greater? In -3 and -2, -2 is greater than -3. So the greater of the two integers is always to the right of the smaller one. So if we move towards the right of -3, what will be the number that we will get? -2. So we are moving towards the right. So this one, out of -3 and -2, -2 is greater. If you look here, out of 3 and 4, so we have 3, and if you want a number greater than 3 on the number line, then out of 3 and 4, we will move towards the right. So 3, between 3 and 4, 4 is greater than 3. Here, -2 is greater than -3. Children, You already know this. This is a number. This is a symbol for representing greater, and this is for smaller. So 5 is greater than 3, or 3 is lesser than 5. Now we have some examples here, and before going into the examples, there is a note on page number 53, and the note says that negative numbers are always to the left of positive integers. So every negative integer is less than positive integers. Negative numbers are always to the left of the positive integers. So negative integers are always to the left. So this is the right side and this is the left side, children. Okay. 0 is less than every positive integer. So 0 is less than every positive integer, because as we move towards the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are they are all coming in the right side of the number line. So 0 is less than every positive integer. Next point is 0 is greater than every negative integer. So if we move towards the left of the 0, we have all the negative integers. So, and between -1 and 0, if you go towards the right, and we already know the number to the right of that given number is the greater. So 0 is greater than every negative integer, children. The greater the number, the lesser is its opposite. So the number is the greater the number, the lesser is its opposite. So 3 is a positive number and its opposite will be -3. 3 is towards the right, -3 is towards the left. If you move towards, if we extend this line, we have 6, 7, 8. So 8 is towards the right, and if you move this side, -6, -7, -8. So children, -8, here we have, +8, here we have. So greater the number towards the right, smaller the number, the opposite of the number will be towards the left side, children. So here we have some examples. Write greater, lesser than, or greater than to compare the following sets of integers. So first is 9 minus 9 dash 2. So minus 9 is lesser than 2. So what will be the sign that will be put here? Minus 9 is less than 2. Acha, second part is 0 and 5. So 5 is greater than 0, because 5 is towards the right of the 0. And here minus 9, if you extend the line here a little more, minus 9. So 2 is towards the right of minus 9. -8 and -10, children. -8 and -10, children. So -8, -9, and after -9 we will get -10. So towards the right of the -10 we have the -8. So -8 is greater than -10, children. Very simple to understand. What you have to do, just look for the number. If for here 0 and 5, 5 is towards the right of 0, so 0 is lesser than 5. Here -8 and -10, -10 and then -8, -8 will be towards the right of the number, towards the right side, and -10 will be towards the left side. So -8 is greater than -10, children. Now example 8. Write the integers -3, 7, -8, 0, 3 in ascending order. So children, firstly you have to look them into the number line, and when you look in them into the number line, you will see we need to arrange them in the ascending order. So ascending order is smaller to larger. So if you look here, so firstly it will be -8, then you will have -3, then you will have 0, then you will have 3, and then you will have 7. So as you can see, as we are moving towards the right, the number is increasing. Now, children, absolute value. And the absolute value of an integer is the numerical value of the integer without d- regard to whether the sign is negative or positive on a number line. It's a very simple thing to understand. The main important thing to understand here, it is the distance between the number and 0. So here, children, if I ask you the absolute value of 5, okay, so the distance between 0 and 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So absolute value of 5 is 5. And how do we represent absolute value? We put the number and we write the number, and we draw two vertical bars around towards the left and towards the right of the number. So this means we are writing the absolute value of the number. If I had -3, so I will count a distance of -3 from 0, 1, 2, and 3. So the answer will come out to be 3. So what is absolute value, children? Absolute value is the distance between the number and the 0. If I had -99, simple, I will count the distance and the answer will come out to be 99. If I had 99, it would again be 99 only, children. So the absolute value of both the integers in a pair of opposites, है ना? Here -99, 99. The absolute value of both the integers will be 99. Next topic that we'll be doing is addition of integers. Children, in this topic, we will be adding two integers, and we will not be using the number line to add the integers. We will be simply adding the numbers by using their absolute values. So if I have two integers, 5, if I need to add 5 to 3, 5 plus 3 will be, the absolute value of 5 will be 5, the absolute value of 3 will be 3, and the end result will be 8. But here, if we have 5 and the other number as -3, then what will be the end result here? First, we will calculate the difference in their absolute values. 5 minus 3, it will be 2. And out of the two, which one will have the which integer has the greater absolute value? 5 being the having the greater absolute value, so we will put its sign. But if it would have been like this, 3 minus 5, or in this case, what can we see here? That the absolute value of -5 is 5, the absolute value of 3 is 3. So we will calculate the difference, it is 2, but we will put the sign of that integer who has a greater absolute value. So it will be -2, children. So children, in addition of integers, if both the integers have the same sign, positive, the end result will be positive. If they have if one of them is having negative and one of them is positive, so the sign will be put of that integer which has the greater absolute value. But if you have both the integers and they both are negative, then we will find the absolute value of 5 and the absolute value of 3. It will be 5 and 3. We will add them and we will put the negative sign given here. So plus plus plus, minus minus minus, plus minus. Out of the two, the one having the greater absolute value, its sign will be put in the end result. And children, one important thing here is the sum of an integer and its opposite. So if you have 8 and its opposite will be -8, it will always be 0. So the integer, and if you add to its opposite, it will always be 0, children. So children, this was your addition of integers. And in subtraction of integers, it is simply What is subtraction? Simple. The addition and subtraction are inverse of each other. So if you have 5 minus, let us take some examples. 7 minus 3, it will be 4. And if you have 3 minus 7, it will be minus 4, children. Okay, so no such difference between the addition subtraction. Simply addition and subtraction are inverse from each other. So if you add in addition, plus plus plus, minus minus, the absolute values will be added and then a negative sign will be put. Plus minus, the sign which is the number, the integer which is having the greater absolute value, its sign will be put in the end result, children. Okay. Now, so the next topic that we have is multiplication of integers. Multiplication of integers. And children, multiplication of integers, firstly we need to understand some rules. They are, if you have two integers and both their signs are positive, the end result of the integer will also have a positive sign. If both of them are negative, the end result will have the positive sign. If one of them is positive or negative, if one of them is negative, then the end result will also be negative. Now, let us look into some examples. Suppose you have 5 into 3, it will be 15. But if you have minus 5 into minus 3, this minus minus will become plus, and 5 into 3 is 15. Now, if you have 5 into minus 3, so one of them is negative, the end result will have a negative sign, and 5 into 3 is 15. And children, you will not be using the number line, you will just be simply using the simple addition, multiplication and subtraction. Now, if you had minus 5 into 3, then one of them is negative, the end result will also be negative, children. So in multiplication of integers, if both the integers are positive, the end result will also be positive. If both they are negative, then it will also be positive. If one of them is negative, the end result will also be negative. Now we can look into one more example. So 5 into 2 into minus 2 into minus 1. Now here, what will you do? Firstly, we will multiply 5 into 2, 10. 10 into minus 2, minus 20. And minus 20 into minus 1, minus minus will become plus, then the end result will also be 20. So these are the examples of multiplication of integers. And children, now we have division of integers. And division of integers also follow the same rule. Division, they also follow the same rule in integers. So if you have 50 divided by 5, both are positive, and result will also be positive. Okay, so if next example, minus 10 upon 2, one of them is negative, the end result will also be negative 2, 5 are 10. If both are negative, if both are negative, then minus minus will be cancelled and you will be left with plus 2. If the denominator is negative only, then it will still be negative. So multiplication and division follow the same rules uh, in integers. So plus plus plus, minus minus plus, plus minus minus, minus plus minus. I expect that these topics of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division are clear to you. Very simple, very easy to understand. You have the examples in the textbook. If you face any difficulty, you can ask me in the comment section, and I'll be discussing the exercises with you in the next video. And make sure you go through the examples; those are very important. And in the next video, I'll be discussing the mixed fractions, mixed operations, and rules of brackets. Thank you, class.